On this video, I am looking at Mark chapter 3, verses 13 to 19. I'll be reading the Greek text with a grammatical analysis and commentary. We have worked our way up through Mark to this point, and we're in the ministry of Jesus. And in this particular paragraph, the calling of the 12 to be his disciples. And so Mark has been showing the healing ministry of Christ. Prior to this, he had called Levi, and now we have all of the 12 being called at this point. So we read the Greek at verse 13, Kai anabaine es ta aras, tai praskale tai hus elethen altas, kai apelthen pras altan. And he is going up into the mountain, and he calls whom he was willing, and they departed to him. Anabaine is your present indicative active third person singular from anabino. So he was going up into the mountain, A's taking the direct object here, and he is calling whom he was willing. Praskaletai is your present indicative middle third person singular from praskaleo. So he himself is calling whom, relative pronoun, accusative plural, he was willing. Athelon is from thelo, imperfect indicative active third person singular from thelo. And they departed to him. Apeothen is from apergamai. It is the aorist indicative active third person plural. So he's calling the 12 now and choosing them, and Mark is going to now give the names of each of them. So verse 14 reads, Kai apoiasin dedukin hus kai apostolus anamasin, hena osin met autu, kai hena apostele autas kerusin. And he made 12, whom also he named apostles, in order that they might be with him, and in order that he might send them to preach. Apoiesin is your aorist indicative active third person singular from poieo. So he made 12, whom, another relative pronoun, masculine accusative plural, whom also he named apostles. Anamasen is from anamazo, to name, the aorist indicative active third person singular, in order that they might be with him. Hena osin. Osin is from ami. Here we have the subjunctive of ami, that they might be with him, and in order for the purpose that he might send them to preach. Apostele, another subjunctive third person singular from apostello, to kerusein, to preach. Present infinitive active from keruso. So he calls these special apostles and anoints them to preach. And that is the calling of all those that are sent forth from Christ. Not all of us are special apostles at all. But if we are followers of Christ, we're called to spread the good news of the gospel, that of who Christ is. So they were called to preach. And they're special in that they're the foundation of the church. And they also were given a special, unusual calling to be, let's say, the foundation of the church that Jesus is going to be forming. And they also will witness the resurrection of Jesus. So we move on in verse 16. Kai apoiesen, let me go back to verse 15, excuse me. Kai eken exousian ekbalen ta daimonia, and to have authority to cast out the demons. Echein is from echo. It's your present active infinitive from echo. To have authority, ekbalen, is another present active infinitive from ekbalo, to cast out the demons. Ta daimonia in the neuter accusative plural. So Jesus gives them special authority to cast out demons, to preach, and to be with him. And then verse 16, kai apoiesin tus deduca, kai apethekin anamato Simoni Petron. And he made the 12 and placed upon them, placed a name upon Peter, or Simon Peter. Notice the poiesin again is your aorist indicative active third person singular from poieo. So he made the 12 and placed a name to Simon Peter. This is from epitithemi. It's the aorist indicative active third person singular from epitithemi. Placed a name to Simon Peter and James, kai Jacoban tan tu Sebadiu, kai Ioannein tan Adelphan tu Jacobu, kai Epethekin autois, anamata ba boanerges, cha estin huioi brontes. So he gives them names. James, the son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, and he placed names to them. Here again, apethekin is your aorist indicative active third person singular from epitithemi. He placed names to them, boanerges, which then, here's your relative pronoun, which is estin, present indicative active third person plural from ami, sons of thunder. So that's the names of the Zebedee, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother. I'm not exactly sure what the sons of thunder meant about their personalities, but maybe they were very aggressive type people. I don't know, but that is just a thought as I was looking at this. Very A personalities, if we could put it that way. And then we move on to verse 18. Kai Andrean, Kai Philippon, Kai Bartholomaion, Kai Matthion, Kai Thoman, Kai Jacoban, tan tu Aphiu, Kai Thadion, Kai Simona, tan Cananion. So we have the 12 now named, and Andrew and Philip and Bartholomew and Matthew and Thomas and James, the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, and Simon the Canaanite, and Caiudan Iscarioth, Chas Kai Paredoken Auton. And so Mark concludes with Judas and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. Chas is your pronoun, your relative pronoun, nominative masculine singular, and paredidoken is from paradidomi, to betray. It's the aorist indicative active third person singular from paradidomi. So in this pericope or paragraph, Mark now is listing the names of the 12 that Jesus chose and sent forth to preach and to herald the good news about the kingdom of heaven, which Jesus is establishing. So, having given us that, he'll move on then, and we'll move into see conflict between Jesus and the religious leaders. So I'm going to stop there and try to hold these videos maybe to 15 minutes at the most if I can. So I hope the analysis is helping, the grammatical analysis and the brief commentary. Thank you very much.